Okay, yes. Elain does represent life. Elain is life, Nesta is death, Feyre is in between. This is all true. But Elain is also a gardener, and to be a gardener, you have to be comfortable with both life and death. And it makes sense that Elain, being a person who represents life among the Archeron sisters, is associated with two characters who embody death. Because Elain, being a gardener, she has to be comfortable with death. A lot of gardening is you have to cut away like the weeds and the bad foliage. And I'm not a gardener, I don't know. This isn't to say that Lucian is bad foliage or anything, but I think Elain, as a gardener, understands the natural order of things. And Elriel, I think, represents the balance between life and death. There's a whole reason why Feyre had this whole monologue during the truth teller scene, or narration monologue, where she's like, it's life and death and the sun, like the day and the night, and in the middle is that knife. They have dusk imagery, they have balance imagery. So Elain representing life and Azriel representing death and Lucian representing the sun actually is more of an argument towards Elriel and not towards Lucian for me personally. I don't know if the books keep it vague, but I do think the books intentionally leave things open to interpretation. So I get why people are like, oh, Elain said she wants sunshine. Lucian represents the sun. He's the son of the day court guy. That represents the sun. But I do feel like it's about a little bit more than that, especially with Elain, because Elain has this whole thing about personal choice and all that. She represents life, but she also represents personal choice. So what is more alive than making your own choices and going against like what society expects of you? All this to say, I do think that Elain represents life as opposed to Nesta's death, Feyre's in between, that kind of thing. But I think Elain being a gardener and Elain being so close with characters who represent death in, or at least have the imagery of death around them, I think it's more of an argument for Elriel than it is for Lucian.